So in our last video, I showed you how to make a serverless website using S3. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a Cloudfront distribution that points to that S3 website. Now you may be asking, why do you want to set up a Cloudfront distribution? Well, first of all, Cloudfront is awesome, and I'll tell you why. But one of the things, if you want to use an SSL with your site, you're going to need to use a Cloudfront distribution to achieve that. But more importantly, CloudFront is a content delivery network, and it gives low latency access to all of your site files from all over the world. So if you're hosting your site in Virginia in S3 and someone in Japan wants to go to your site, if anyone else has recently visited your site anywhere in Asia, it's going to be cached in a edge location over in Asia. And instead of having, low latency access all the way across the sea to Virginia, it's the user in Japan is going to access the site from the edge location in Asia and have quick access to the site. So that's really awesome. It's a great feature, and it's so cheap. It is so cheap to use CloudFront. There's no reason not to use it. So let's go ahead and go through how to get this done. So first of all, I should mention, if you don't already have a SSL certificate for your site, you can get one free from AWS with Certificate Manager. I already have an SSL for this tutorial. If you don't already have one and you want to use one, go ahead and set up an SSL and Certificate Manager and come back and we can move forward with this. But we're going to get started. Create distribution. For this site, we're going to use a web distribution. The origin, I click that, it gives me this drop down. The site we created was testsite.lagituda.net. I'm going to go ahead and select this. Let's see here. The TTL is how long something will stay cached in the edge locations. I'm going to go ahead and leave that. It's kind of a long TTL, so that's up to you, but I'm going to leave it as default. You can choose a price class. It's cheaper if you do only US, Canada, and Europe, but if there's any chance anyone from, South America, Africa, or Asia is going to be accessing your site, you can just do this one. Honestly, it's so cheap to begin with. Unless you're getting billions of hits, it shouldn't really make that much of a price difference. I'm going to use a custom SSL. If you're just using the CloudFront endpoint, you can use that. But if you have your own custom SSL, which I already set up here, I'm going to choose custom SSL certificate. And I guess it automatically chose this one because it's the only one I have. But there's a drop down, you choose the SSL. So this is important. Default root object. This is the thing I tend to keep forgetting to do and makes my CloudFront distributions not work. This is the file in S3 where your site is hosted, basically the index file. I'm going to use index.html. And I don't know about you, but I'm not using IPv6 for anything, so I'm going to uncheck that. Let me just make sure there's nothing I missed here. That should be good. Let's create the distribution. So this actually takes a while. I'm going to go ahead and let that run. And then we can test the distribution, and then I will show you how to point the site to that rather than the S3 bucket. Hey guys, so that took like a good 30 minutes or so, but the distribution finished. And one thing I wanted to show you, I did overlook something. You need to set a CNAME. So go ahead and set the CNAME of your site for this to work properly. And once you do that, you should be able to go. Hold on one moment. And you can go to Route 53. You can find the target that you're trying to set it to, and you can choose the Cloudfront distribution. Just a moment, this hasn't. There it is. Cloudfront distribution, testsite.legatura.net. Choose that, save record set, and then your site will resolve over the Cloudfront distribution rather than the S3 bucket. It's going to take a good while for the old record to expire and for the new record to propagate, but once that does, the site should resolve over that rather than going directly to the S3 bucket. All right, that's all for today, guys.